Also, we have a doctor in the chat letting us know that apparently Dongray Group vs Special was not a close series.
Oh, it was like 4 minutes. Oh,
which is unfortunate because TvZ is usually a lot of fun.
Yeah, very dynamic matchup.
Yeah,
but it looks like there was no dynamic in that regard. It was just one-way dynamic. I want to call it that. But regardless, yes, we're going to be getting into our first semifinals of the evening. It is, of course, going to be a very familiar matchup. It is going to be PvZ on Berlingrad LE, where, of course, in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner, we have our blue Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea. He is going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. He is the smiling assassin. He is herO.
and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Berlingrad LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player. He is red, one of the best Zergs in the entire world, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is dark.
And we are on Berlingrad, so hashtag bark for dark.
Hashtag bark for dark. Let's go. Dark, of course, not one to harm the doggos in the chat, or at least I hope not.
Yeah. Well, it's he needs them to bark.
He does. He does.
For dark.
Oh god, and I'm really curious to see how this will play out. Obviously, this is a best of 5, so each player could only veto one map. So yeah, unfortunately, I didn't quite get to see the veto process. I did see the final map list, but I wasn't paying too much attention, I'll be honest.
Yeah, same. I was gonna say Inu showed us the map order.
Yeah.
I wasn't really looking.
Like, I was setting up predictions, okay?
Yeah. I was predicting.
There you go. There you go.
Nice use.
What I was gonna say is that Dark actually opens up relatively greedy here. His natural was at a regular time, but immediately he throws down a third base. This will delay his queen, sure, but outside of that, like, yeah, just cutting some corners here, Dark is.
I honestly should be able to get away with it. herO going for a Stargate opening. It will still take a little bit of time before he finishes up that Stargate. Obviously, an Oracle or a Void Ray will have a much shorter distance to travel, but by that point, Dark could get a Spore Crawler up. He could get a pretty healthy Queen count up.
Yeah, because again, like, between the 3 bases, he only has 1 queen. It makes sense that he would make it at the forward base to spread creep as soon as possible, but his main base is a little bit exposed, and herO is aware of that, so the first adept is going to sneak into the main base. How much damage will be done? There are 2 slow links to defend, and herO, mate, his micro is pretty good.
2 slow links, really? Jeez.
I
guess it just goes to show you just how greedy Dark has been in this opening. None of the drones go down, but the Adept is, of course, still alive. That Creep Tuber almost fell. No, I wanted it to go down so bad.
Oh god, almost. Meanwhile, we do not have a commitment into shade here for herO. Some nice micro, by the way, from Dark. If a lesser player would have lost 2 drones, but he keeps all 3 of his drones alive here, making sure he pulls them back at the last moment.
Yeah, no, the queens are out. He's using some of the weakened drones to build Spore Crawlers. Still an opportunity for herO to target fire the drones and get damage done, but Dark has the tools he needs to prevent harass.
That he does, that he does. Also, shout out to I almost said GGE Mini Gemini in the chat. I apologize when I was setting up the predictions. Your face was frozen. I didn't notice either.
What was my expression?
I don't know. I don't know what it was.
Expression that I was stuck on that.
I have no idea.
Dang.
I was doing predictions.
I'm just gonna screenshot it. This is gonna become a new meme now, isn't it?
Oh god, I need to remember. Like, yeah. For those wondering, every time I open a new window, it does kind of freeze the cams for OBS.
When you tab out, really, I think is how it works usually.
Yeah.
I getting self-conscious now. Like, What? Well, it's like, yeah.
It's fine. It was fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Oh god. As herO did open up with double Stargate, and from here into a second Stargate, into a Forge, into the Sky Toss we know and sometimes love.
Usually love. Not always. Go for the double Oracle. That is enough to start one-shotting your drones, and he does get a couple. I actually honestly thought Dark was going to lose more than that, but yeah, only 3 at the moment, maybe 4, but that's about it, really. Is Oracle going to live? Is this Oracle going to live? Oh, this Oracle lives, thankfully.
Oracle does live. 4 drones go down. Decent scouting information for the most part. Doesn't get eyes on the Morphian lair though, so he's a little bit in the dark when it comes to that. But at the same time, he doesn't matter because he's setting himself up at home. The Forge was for cannons, plus 1 air attack is on the way. Like, herO is looking to slow things down a little bit and ensure that he gets his third base up and running.
And I thought Zest was on the other side of this bracket. Turns out he was here all along.
That he was. As this Oracle is still alive, by the way, which, I mean, props to herO for doing so, and because of that, he's able to pick off a couple of workers here and there. A stasis ward almost gets thrown down, but more importantly, is able to scout his opponent, again, to see what kind of tech we see Dark going for. Is it just Queens and Roaches, or is there a Spire?
It is, in fact, just Queens and Roaches for the time being, and herO sees all of these Ravagers being morphed in. He knows how committed Dark is to Roach Ravager.
Yeah, and now herO, he's turning around, he's coming all the way back home. The Queens are already showing up at the front door of herO, and does he have enough to defend? He does have a shield battery, he does have overcharge, and a decent amount, 6 Void Rays.
Yeah, I'm actually really liking this defensive setup for herO. It's going to be very tough for Dark to crack this. He doesn't have too many Queens here, it seems, but with the Queens he does have, he has plenty of transfuse energy. The Biles connect on the cannons, not quite on any of the Void Rays.
Yeah.
herO has been able to micro.
Oh my god, the Biles are honestly doing an amazing job dealing with the majority of this stack defense. I don't believe overcharge has been popped yet, so whenever herO needs it, he can utilize it. Again, just kind of biding his time, wants to trade as best he can before he wastes it. There we go.
He can utilize it, but not if the shield battery gets biled down. And there's that battery overcharge. A lot of Ravagers have actually been dealt with. The Queen count is starting to thin out a little bit, so these Void Rays can have a really fun time. But the Lings are able to slip in. They are able to snipe the overcharged battery. All of the probes are starting to fall to herO. Very committed to defending in this location, but he's going to have to give it up.
Yeah, third base goes down. Now herO falls back to his natural, where he does have a couple more cannons and shield batteries on the way, but they're not done yet. Dark, can he find more damage? It looks like he can. He's gonna get into the natural. Okay.
Yeah, the wall is on a wall, but the Void Rays turn around just in time. Those Biles actually get a lot of the side defense as they sort of warp in, sorry. But
yeah.
herO has them the tide for now.
Yeah, this is the problem. The Queens are off creep. herO, he's racing across the map, and he can kill a base. He can potentially do more than that with all these Void Rays. Oh no! The wall's not a wall!
The wall is not a wall, and Dark is trying to send all these Void Rays back home. herO doesn't take the bait.
Oh. And you know what? herO doesn't even get the hatchery. I thought he would. We did have a force field. The Lings will eventually be dealt with, and here we go. He needs something. He goes for the lair instead.
And there's no transfuse available. Prismatic Alignment will be able to take that out. But now we've got Hydras out. Now we've got even more Ravagers.
God, that we do. But you know what? We have 2 base versus 2 base. The Void Rays, so they have to be careful. The Queens, there, they get 1 Void Ray.
Standing and fighting. Unfortunately, herO, his attention was elsewhere in a very unfortunate time.
Oh, God. Exactly, the Queens are able to just ward him away, and now Dark is double expanding, taking his main base and the 4th at the same time. herO, though, is getting his 3rd base up and running once again, so even though herO did lose a base and a lot of workers, he was able to counterattack and, yeah, kind of even things up in a way.
Yeah, he is recovering. Meanwhile, while Dark has lost the lair, he didn't lose the Hydra then, so he's still going to be able to pump out more Hydras and get the units up, the upgrade, sorry, that he needs.
Exactly. Meanwhile, what I will say is that I assumed that the Ling Run Ride was going to deal more damage. Like, I thought that was basically going to be a game-winning move for Dark, but it was cleaned up very nicely. There was some nice force fields, and the Lings honestly didn't do too much. So herO handled it beautifully. He has a 3rd Stargate on the way, +2 is on the way as well for his air attack. And these Void Rays are still a threat. Can they get another base? Uh-oh.
Yeah, it looks like the Hydras aren't in position. If herO uses prismatic alignment quickly enough, he should be able to take out this base. He's gonna settle for the gas geysers, which is
the
fine.
chamber?
The chamber? Yeah, +1 carapace is gonna be denied.
Oh, +1 does get denied. The Hydras are trying to catch these Void Rays. The Hydra is exposed. Up, one Ormas. He gets it.
Starter stepping from herO was insane.
He didn't lose a single Void Ray, mate.
Exactly, despite all of these Hydras. herO didn't lose a single Void Ray, and he's able to snipe the gas geysers, or the extractors rather. He's able to deny +1 carapace. He gets a Hydra then.
Yeah,
Dark has been sent back to the Stone Age.
Like, that was beautiful, what herO was able to accomplish, because he got a hatchery earlier, but for him to deny an upgrade, to deny the Evo chamber, the gases, which does stem the tide of how many Hydras are coming out, the Hydrogen itself, like, he is slowing down Dark's Hydra push so much, to the point where now it's just not going to work, or it shouldn't work.
Exactly, and behind all of this, herO's just skyrocketing ahead when it comes to the tech. Sweet Beacon finished up a while ago, he's starting to get his carriers out, and without enough Hydras, Void Rays and carriers are going to have an absolute fun time dealing with the Zerg army.
You're not wrong. If it was pure Hydra. Thankfully, Dark has made non-stop queens. He just kept producing them time and time again to spend his resources. It makes sense. So with queens and Hydras, maybe Dark can make this push work, as he's getting close to remaxing.
Yeah, he just needs to make sure that his highway is in position. Last thing he wants is to get these queens caught off a creep.
Oh,
or even on top of creep, Hydra support.
Transfuse! 2 queens get picked off immediately. Oh, Dark slipping up a little bit there, but he does have reinforcements on the way. Again, there are carriers, even force fields. Oh god, there's no way to deal with them!
Yeah, there is not. The Ravagers are unfortunately in a completely different position. A couple of Lings trying to stream in and immediately get denied.
That they do. Meanwhile, the Ravagers are actually trying to deny the 4th base, and it looks like they may. The Void Rays will show up, and the 3rd base is safe due to all these sentries, due to all these force fields. Wow.
It was just standing tall. Hasn't lost any units, any static defenses here.
Yeah. Dark was maxed out, by the way, when he pushed. Like,
he was.
Just like that. herO, he holds strong. He evens up the supply. And when supplies are even, that is not a good thing for Zerg. Dark, he was banking so much on this Hydra timing. And because it was delayed, because of herO's Void Rays, now he has to fall back to plan C. Plan A was the Queen push, plan B was the Hydra push, plan C is Vipers. Or, I say Vipers, in this case, Infestors.
Yeah, a good fungal parabomb combo can really shut down the Skytoss army from herO. He is majority of his army is in Void Rays, which do tend to clump up.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I'm just a little bit concerned. A little bit. So just I say a little bit just because Pathogen Glands just finished up, which means 8 Infestors come out with energy. Enough energy to fungal. Just in time for the push.
Yeah, let's see if he's able to nail it. Seeing the Infestors in position. herO pulls back in time. Massive Ling run by. Yeah! herO's not counting on these Lings, and Dark, just like that, is able to even out the base count once again. But can he deal with this army? Very good use of Microbial Shroud.
Exactly, the fungals were honestly looking pretty good. herO cannot force his way in, not into all of these Infestors with their fungals and Microbial Shrouds.
Meanwhile, Dark is starting to get his Vipers out. It'll still take quite some time before he has enough energy to utilize them. But Dark is slowly getting to a point where he can fight this army toe-to-toe.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is not the ideal Protoss army. Sure, he's got Void Ray, sure, he's got carriers, but he doesn't have High Templar, he doesn't have Storm, he doesn't have, more importantly than any of all of that, feedbacks. He cannot deny any of these spellcasters of Dark.
Does he even have a Temple Archives? He doesn't.
No, he doesn't. No, he does not. I mean, again, like, herO was kind of back against the wall earlier. He's struggling to get a base up and running. If this base does get up, then herO, he will have plenty of economy to tech up, and we already see the Twilight Council on the way.
If. So a failing run by is just about getting set up here from Dark. Dark is maxed out. herO is also maxed out, but I gotta favor the army of Dark, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Just to make sure he lands his spells.
Exactly. It's all about the spellcasters. Like, this is a lot of infestors. And you know what? neural just got research. He can take control of these carriers once the Void Rays are dealt with.
And
oh
that's a money fungal, and that's an even better parabomb.
Oh
the
my
chain
God.
fungals are underway. herO cannot split his Void Rays at all. He will keep most of them alive, but they are so low in health. Meanwhile, the neural parasites land.
Wow.
And the prismatic alignments do deal with a couple of these
oh
carriers.
my God,
More importantly, the Void Rays get shot out of the sky.
He's hunting them down. He takes control of almost everything in the sky. Dark GG gets called. Dark just pulls herO's army apart.
Not gonna lie, for most of that game, I was ready to call it for herO. After Dark's Queen push got denied, after his Hydra timing got denied, I was like, alright, this is it. It's herO's game, but Dark and his spellcasters somehow were able to make it work.
Yeah, the problem is that herO, he wasn't pre-split, right? Like,
wasn't.
When the first fungal happened, that was it. It was all over from there. There was no splits. We had the parabomb, the wombo combo come out from Dark. It was insane. It was beautiful. And what a game one. What an engagement there.
It really was. It was one of those moments where is that the expression, watching a train crash in slow motion? I don't think that's the expression I'm thinking of, but I don't know. I saw all those Void Rays clump up. I saw them get inch closer and closer to the infestor. I thought, oh no. Oh, I could see it so clearly what happens from here on out. I hope it doesn't happen like that, where Dark gets the chain fungals and the parabombs. And then Dark got the chain fungals and the parabombs with the neural parasites just as the cherry on top. Chef's kiss is what that engagement was there for Dark.
It was
Zerg players.
Beautifully done, mate. Beautifully done. As it looks like we may be on the wrong map.
No, we were on the right map. We were on the wrong race for Dark anyway.
Ooh.
Yeah, and Terran.
Oh yeah, he did have Terran. Shaking my head, as we are going to be remaking as we dive into game number 2. Again though, as a reminder to everyone, this is a best of 5, so even though Dark took game 1, you know, there's still plenty of room, plenty of time for herO to come back.
Definitely is. That's good news to everybody who voted for herO to win, which is no one.
Crazy, mate.
Literally no one. It's 100% for Dark right now.
I don't blame them. You know, Dark is the higher profile player. He has more accolades in recent time. He is more highly ranked. herO is still up and coming as kind of like a mid-tier Protoss, and Dark is some of the best. One of the best.
Yeah. I mean, he did just win last week's ESL Open Cup Asia, so
yeah.
It's a very safe bet to go with Dark. We'll see if herO has anything to say about that as we continue our series on Glittering Ashes. LE, we're of course in the top right-hand corner map, fighting all the way in the top right-hand corner. Our blue Protoss player from the land of Korea is going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. He is the Prince of Singapore. He is herO.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Glittering Ashes LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player. He is red, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG, and currently leading this series, it is Dark.
We're probably not going to see another Queen timing up, another Queen push on Glittering Ashes RB Light.
We're probably not. Probably. I feel like Dark would be insane if he goes, like, Queen pushes make sense on, you know, Berlingrad, Blackburn, Curious Minds. As, oh my God.
No.
Dark kills the Roomba.
Wow. Absolutely ruthless.
It feels bad,
Well, I
man.
guess that's what happens. We're getting the way of the spawning pool.
Yeah, it was denying his spawning pool placement, so it does make sense as, oh my God, massive shout out to Pilly. Thank you so much,
Whoa.
Pilly. We appreciate the raid.
Heart. I don't think they can see it, but
wait, hold on. They can see you now.
hard.
Oh my god, your arms are coming out of nowhere, mate. Jesus.
It's ethereal.
Oh god. But yes, thank you so much, Pili. Again, massive shout out. I hope you enjoyed your ladder session. I'm assuming that you just had a ladder session over in the lands of the Americas.
I was gonna say Bota, but then I just remembered that one, there was no Bota today, but also two, even if there was, it would have been over by now.
Yeah. I mean, Bota is done for the year. It's done.
Oh.
Yeah. The OC tournaments are wrapping up for the holidays.
Yeah, I think the last Sentimental Latino is going to be in about 2 weeks from now.
Yes.
Like that, so,
yes.
Yeah, makes sense.
That will be the last Sentimental Latino. Meanwhile, I don't know if you noticed, but once again, Dark goes for the exact same opener. He delays his queens for a much faster third hatchery.
Which makes a lot more sense on a map like Glittering Ashes. If he can get away with it on Berlingrad, he can definitely get away with it here.
Exactly, and once again, here he is back with one of these adepts. Oh! Doesn't get a drone.
Dark's micro, always on point. Throughout this entire tournament, even pulls quite a number of probes off of mining, actually. Shouldn't be too much to really make a dent in hero's opening, but it's a little annoying.
Yeah, just some lost mining time here in the natural base of heroes, so Dark was able to accomplish some counter damage, which is kind of shown when it comes to the graph. But yeah, from here, hero just goes for a Stargate, and was this scouted? It was scouted by those lings.
Huh. And now it's double scouted here with the Overlord. Being taken out by the Void Ray.
Oh.
And that's a very quick lair.
Incredibly fast lair here on the way for Dark. He doesn't have a Roach Warren already set up. What could this lair be for? I'm really curious. Queens are on the way, which make plenty of sense. It's a little bit out there. It's a little bit wild. It wouldn't be like Nidus, would it?
Well, now that you mentioned the word Nidus, that's the only thing I'm going to be able to think of. Let's go, Dark! Nidus Ling!
I mean, we were talking about it, how like a queen push across the map, like a highway, is not going to work on Glittering Ashes. It's just not ideal. But a subway, that could.
Yeah. If you run out of room to build roads, build a tunnel.
Exactly, as the queens do force the Oracle all the way back. Just nothing but drones all the way. There it is!
Yes!
Oh, God. Mate, we just know.
It is absolutely beautiful.
Bold position as well, by the way, because the Oracle, he's standing right outside the third base. My God.
The queens are going to have to try to deny that Oracle as best as possible. Dark, or hero rather, actually does step in a little bit with that Oracle. Sees the queens and thinks, yeah, no, I'm not gonna dip in from there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's so important for Hero to scout this, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know that something crazy is on the way, and that is, of course, the Ling Queen Nidus. Oh boy, what is it? Is it the Polish subway, or is it
Warsaw subway, something like that?
Something like that. Ah, the Oracle dips in.
Use it now, but is it too late? As the Nidus is already popping up across the map. Is it going to be directly in the base? Is it going to be just outside natural, which is exactly where Dark wants to position his queens?
Yeah, exactly. We have an Overseer diving into the main base, but it looks like it will be denied by this Void Ray, so he cannot go from Nidus to Nidus or anything crazy like that. Instead, he's stuck here on the front lines.
Which, I mean, it's a decent position to try to contain your opponent, but I don't really see Dark gaining much ground from here. We'll see, though. That's a lot of Oracles.
That's a lot of Oracles, mate.
That you want to defend.
Yeah, I don't know if Oracles are really what you want. We don't have any Stasis Wards, but they do incredibly well against Mass Ling.
If they activate the Pulsar Beam.
Yeah,
Hero.
He's being patient for the time being, but now there's Nidus in the main base as well. The pylon almost goes down.
It should go down, regardless. The Oracles are going to dip into the main and try to deal with that Nidus as it pops up. Meanwhile, that gives enough of an opening for Dark to just wreak absolute havoc by the third base. More queens are here, and they're just shooting these Oracles out of sky.
Exactly, and the problem is all the micro with the Nidus, and we have 3 spores behind this. The spores, they need to get on the front line. The transfuses are looking pretty good, and the Oracles cannot break through all these queens.
They really cannot. But unfortunately now there's just no units out here for herO. He has 1 Void Ray, 1 Oracle, 1 Stalker. herO may have been able to defend this if he wasn't so committed to the Oracles.
Yeah, the problem is that he had decided to go Mass Oracle earlier. You know, it isn't something that we touched on because we were so distracted by the Knights. Instead, third base does go down, but all the stack defense finishes up here in the natural base. So Dark is going to have a hard time killing herO, and herO is banking on that, looking to counterattack with the Oracles instead.
Yeah, there's actually still quite a bit of energy on these Oracles. Enough to snipe a base and some key tech.
But there are spores all over the place, so the Oracles do not find a way in. Meanwhile, that Ling count, I say Lings, yeah, Banelings are on the way, and that is a way to deal with all these cannons.
Well, the two pylons powering them all, but one of them is in the back. In the end, I guess it doesn't really matter so much. Dark wants to kill the cannons outright.
Yeah. That he does, and they do roll on forward. There's nothing to stop them. No stasis wards, no oracles whatsoever. Finally, they show up, but the Banelings, they crash into the middle line.
That's one of the worst feelings in the world as a Protoss player. Seeing all of those slow Banelings slowly wall their way forward, knowing that there's no way for you to stop it.
Exactly.
And actually get activated by the Banelings that were already in stasis.
Exactly.
Things that go from bad to worse for herO. And they were already really, really bad. A couple of Tempests are out now, and they can slowly chip away at the Queens.
Yeah, the Tempests do come out, and that is a nice response, but I feel like it's a little bit too late here. The economy of herO is in shambles. More Lings are flooding across the map. The spores are slowly moving forward alongside this creep, and soon, like, the Tempests are going to have to fall back into the main base, and the natural, it's going to be given up. There's no way. There's no way he holds on.
Yeah, I highly doubt it. No shield batteries here. The Tempests are getting, or the Queens rather, are getting on top of the Tempest. Oh, my mistake. There actually was a shield battery and overcharge available. Yeah.
The overcharge.
Tight for now.
It keeps the Tempest alive, but we have another wave of Banelings here behind this. Dark, he's getting a 4th base up and running. He is droning up. He's thinking about, you know, the next step if he cannot straight up win the game from here. But again, he's still looking to take out the natural.
Yeah, really good force field, denying the Banelings from getting into the mineral line, but there's just not enough sentries of energy available for herO. 1 Baneling will connect, and just like that, take out 9 more probes.
Yeah, that
the Tempests are still standing strong.
Again, the Tempests are trading beautifully, and they will eventually force all these Queens back home and counterattack. Dark needs to buy time for Corruptors. Spire is on the way, right? He just needs a little bit more to get Corruptors up to deal with these Tempests.
Yeah, we've actually seen it a couple of times where in a ZVP, the Protoss player is down to even just 1 base, half a base mining even, but because they were building up so many Tempests and because they were able to defend so efficiently, they were just able to go across the map and win the game from there. But it's not looking like that's going to be the case here for herO, as Dark just keeps sending Ling after Bane after Queen forward. Not losing too many Queens either, so he still has plenty of anti-air.
They just keep on getting in. 8 more probes go down. These are workers that herO cannot afford to lose. And again, like Dark, he's losing a couple of Queens here and there, but he doesn't care. He's like, yes, kill my Queens. Get distracted. Stay on your side of the map, not on mine. And you have no answer to Corruptors. You need Void Rays if you want to deal with them.
And I already dealt with all the Void Rays.
Exactly.
With my Queens, yeah, this is looking too hot, to say the least.
Yes, the Queens, they are finally forced back home. herO regains control of his side of the map. He will slowly clean all this up, but 5 Corruptors are on the way. Dark has done it. His goal was to distract his opponent, and he has, and now he has the tech that he needs. He's getting the army that he needs, and herO, how can he get back into this? He needs to be aggressive with this Tempest.
It's a very good question, and honestly, that's a way better question than what I was going to ask. Why did Dark set up Nidus right next to the Nidus?
Oh, you need to come back home.
Fair enough.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay, all right. Okay.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. I decided a long time ago just to stop questioning Dark. As he just wins.
He did it to put the fear in his opponent, you know? Hero's like, oh my god, another Nidus got up! And that's in the back of his mind, and now he will never know where it is.
I think he was able to scout the Oracle now, actually.
Oh, he hasn't seen it yet.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
So he's still going to be a little bit distracted. He is trying his hardest to rebuild from here. That third base is being retaken, but as you said, now that the Corruptors are out, the hero's going to have to rely on Dark just not being on the map at all with his units.
Exactly. I do like that hero isn't overcommitted to the Sky Toss. He did, I believe, he did scout the Spire, but
yeah, he's writing on the wall. Dips out, GG.
Doesn't want to waste his time, calls it,
Yeah.
And now we're getting into game 3.
Yeah. And that was definitely a game. I usually appreciate Mass Oracles. I just, it's just a playstyle or a style of Protoss that is very active that I really enjoy watching. But in this case, it was probably the one time you don't want to go Mass Oracles. Hero just needed to scout that Nidus earlier, I think.
Yeah.
And he would have been able to switch it to something else.
That's the thing, right? By the time he saw the Nidus, it was already on the way across the map, you know?
Yep.
And it didn't help that he was already investing into Mass Oracle. You know, he was just making nothing but Oracles.
I think by the time he saw it, he already had about 5 Oracles, and he was making 2 more. Tis a little unfortunate, but hopefully hero has been able to recalibrate in a way and just get ready for game number 3.
Exactly. Hopefully he's able to shake it off. Again, best of 5. He's still in this series. He can still fight back. But Dark has been wild today, you know, going for the queen pushes, which, I mean, that was probably the most standard thing we've seen. But going for Nidus here in game 2, I love his solution to the problem of, I can't queen walk on Glittering Ashes. Let's just Nidus.
Yeah. You can't go over, go under.
There you go.
Tis the mantra of queens.
And regardless, they just want to leave. They just want to get out of the base, okay?
Yeah. They've had enough. They can't stay cooped up in these bases for that long, dealing with all that this larva. Have to spread the creep. Have to inject every day, every time. Anyway, we're gonna continue our series on Curious Minds LE. We're in the top left-hand corner map, sweating all the way in the top left-hand corner. We have our blue Protoss player, hailing from the land of Korea, currently down 0-2 in this best of 5. He really needs to start turning things around, and personally, I believe in the smiling assassin himself, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. He is herO.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Curious Minds LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player. He is red, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. Currently leading this series 2-0. He only needs one more to advance on to the grand finals. It is Dark.
Let me just refresh the bracket and check Chickaman's stream to see if we have an idea of... Okay, so that semifinal is still going on. It is DRG versus Zest. Zest actually coming back pretty strong in this week of ESL Open Cup Asia.
Oh, yeah. Always a strong contender there, and it's great to see him doing well down there. So what game are they in? Sorry.
Game number 2. DRG took the first map.
Oh.
So it is actually possible we get our CBC finals.
It's very
we robbed
possible.
of it last week.
Yeah, Dong Rei Gu, he's making the dream a reality, or at least he's trying to. As Dark, mate, he loves these 3-hatch openings. Jesus Christ.
God damn. Is he okay? I was worried for a sec of whether or not he was getting gas, but he is. Pulls off of it after getting his Link speed. Still mining 1 drone, so yeah, still a possibility for him to get banelings or something from here, but yeah, for now he just wants to focus on droning up, making sure he has his minerals.
Yeah, Exactly. Again, delaying queens delays creep as well, to be fair. And it does leave him a little bit vulnerable early on, but there's no proxy, there's no early aggression, so herO can't, because of his own opener, he can't punish this.
Yeah, not yet anyway, as we're seeing a pretty massive divergence in the opening of herO, not going for another Stargate, instead gets a Robo.
Oh, a Robo opening. So we got a couple of options available here. The Slowlings do get into the natural base. Will they get into the main? It looks like they will not.
Yeah, some nice surrounding. Nice surrounding the probes here. Or from the probes here.
Yeah. So I was about to say, we could see a couple of things here. We could see 2 more gateways thrown down for a War Prism, or Robotics Bay for Disruptor drops.
Hell yes.
Dark,
Dark?
yo,
Dark?
he's just sending it across the map. He doesn't even care. He's late. He wants to go out, mate.
Style, yeah.
The lake flood. He's pulling an old school solo, mate. He's gonna drone drill through the adept.
It's like, we need every man we can spare.
This gets scouted. He has to wall off.
It does get scouted, and it's not too late actually. Yeah. herO is able to wall off, but he's being forced to cancel a couple of these pylons. Lings get some decent surface area on top of one of these gateways. Is it going to be enough? herO is just walling his heart out.
Oh my god. Dark,
And I'm still worried for him, honestly. There's just nothing here.
He's getting through the shield battery. The shield battery's going to go down as well, but that's still not a full way in. It is! It's a way in!
I was going to say, that was a very clutch force field, but the drones somehow are able to make it through, and that force field is going to run out. There's still one more available here for herO. Dark is being a little threatening in that mineral line. But look at all these Lings, man.
Yeah,
actually,
I mean,
there are a lot of Lings, but there's a shield battery.
Yeah, that's the problem. With the shield battery, with the overcharge, these things are going to have a hard time breaking through the Zealots. Instead, they're going for the buildings, so they can still break through. But the longer this goes on, the better it is for herO. Can Dark really pull this off? He's still making nothing but Lings.
He cannot, and with that, herO fights back in the series. That was insane. If that one force field wasn't there in time, if one pylon wasn't placed down in time, then we would have had a very different story. Dark would have been waiting quite some time in the grand finals, but herO defended his heart out.
Yeah, like Dark, honestly, that was unnecessary as well. Like,
It really was.
To be fair, that's Dark. He is, probably the most confident or overconfident player in the region or in Korea. Maybe partying a little bit more, but like that's like
Not for long.
Yeah, that's like Dark's his personality showing off a little bit there. I feel like it's unnecessary because Curious Minds is a Zerg map, and he could have. I feel like he probably could have taken a win here, regardless, playing more standard. Instead, goes for a cheeky move. Didn't work. Not the biggest deal.
Well, because it was a Zerg map, Dark was thinking, yeah, I can get away with it. Were we already? No, we weren't in this. Yeah, we weren't in the series yet. Yeah. So it's a Heartwire. Has been a pretty common pick throughout the tournament, but yeah, this is actually the first time we're seeing it in the semifinals. Speaking of our semifinals, yeah, here we are. Heartwire, LE. Well, of course, in the top right-hand corner, map's running all the way to the top right-hand corner, we have our blue Protoss player coming down from the land of Korea. He is going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. Series honestly looked a little one-sided for a little while, but he is fighting back real hard. He only needs to win one more to take it to the ace match. He is herO.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the South Korean Zerg dropping a game here. Looking a little bit odd in the last game, but here we go. Still one of the best Zerg players in the world, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming. It is Dark.
And you talk about that move being unnecessary. What was even more unnecessary than the unnecessary drone pull was the amount of drones to that pull.
Yeah.
You pulled like 5-6 drones in that assault. Could have just pulled 2 and use the rest of his lava to get more lings.
I mean, look, he wanted the additional ones just to secure his victory, I guess. I don't know.
Question mark.
Yeah, it was just a bold strategy by Dark. I'm sure he's just laughing it off. Hopefully it didn't affect herO too much. Like, even though herO held, like, sometimes that can be a little bit frustrating. He's like, really? You tried to do me like that? Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, how dare you?
Can, of course, be tilting. And, yeah, sometimes just being put in that very high adrenaline scenario, even if you do win, can throw you off a little.
Yeah. Definitely can. Oh, boy. We'll see.
Yeah, just to start affecting you a little bit. I mean, I gotta give herO some credit. He has been a pro gamer for over a decade at this point, so if there's anyone who knows how to get a handle on his adrenaline, if there's anyone who can calm himself after a game like that, it would be him. But yeah, it's just something you don't want to happen if possible.
I'd like to think that's something that they work on in the military, maybe.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, we have to ask Aries for that one. And to be fair, that's Singaporean militaries. I don't know.
Exactly.
But yeah, we'll see how this series will progress. Now, I'm just looking. My eyes are on Dark. Like, yo, what the hell is this madman gonna do? As herO opens up once again with a Robo first. Does he want to try and execute that disruptor drop build that he wanted to go for in game 3?
Well, so far we're seeing a robo facility, and there's the bay.
He's like, I'm doing this, okay? I won the last game, but not the way I wanted to.
If I win on my terms. I mean, that's usually how players win now I think about it, but...
Yeah, sometimes. The last game was clearly not the way herO wanted to come out on top. But here we go, we have the Disruptor on the way as well. Sorry, the War Prism on the way as well. Our gases are being taken. And what's important is that Dark hasn't seen this at all. He has no idea what the opener is. But of course, he will be aware of the lack of Stargate due to the fact that, you know, at some point we expect to see a Void Ray or an Oracle.
Yeah, that's actually going to be a pretty massive tell for Dark. If he had the Overlord in position, actually pulls it away this game.
Yeah, instead he just sends a wave of lings across the map. Once again, going into a fast lair here. Oh, interesting. We'll see if Dark falls back on that kind of Nidus play again. With these lings, he will confirm that, hey, there is no third base. You are staying on 2 bases for a decent amount of time.
What is going on here? It's only a single Stalker, and he catches the Zealots in the tail end of that, so this should be ringing alarm bells in Dark's head.
Oh, and you know what? Even though he had a ling at the 3rd base, he did not see this War Prism. So far, it has gone unscattered. War Prism is about to rock up here across the map, and we'll see how much damage can get done. So far, only 1 Disruptor.
Yeah, enough to snipe some drones, not enough to deal with these.
Oh, no!
He absolutely killed the Warp Prism. It was just 1 second away from escaping.
The herO, ¿por qué? Not like this, not like this. Lings even slipped into the main base. The wall was not a wall. Oh my god, the Stalker was low from earlier and there was no safety shield battery to keep that Stalker alive. Actually, I think he moved out to secure his 3rd base. Oh god. And the double Stargate was scouted.
Wow. The one consolation, I think, for herO here is that at least he was able to keep his Disruptors alive.
Yeah.
He can utilize them against the Roaches, but Dark's already transitioning to Spire.
He is, so eventually Corruptors or Mutas are going to be on the way here for Dark. herO, he does immediately rebuild that War Prism. He's back, he's across the map, he wants to deal some damage, but he has to be careful, he has to respect these queens.
It really does. It takes 2 Purification Novas to kill a queen as demonstrated, and ideally you want to get more than just 1 with that. Fortunately, it was not the case here for our Blue Protoss player. The Roaches are already on the other side of the map, and Dark really wants to make sure that herO doesn't get a third base up and running.
Yeah, the problem is that there were no Void Rays. I was like, yo, if Void Rays were coming out, then herO would be able to defend his third base. But no, there are Phoenixes instead, and Phoenixes are not what you want against Roaches.
What a fantastic pre-split from Dark.
Yeah.
He dodged just about every single Purification Nova. Was able to deny that third base, and now the Phoenixes are going across the map. I have to wonder what prompted herO to go into Phoenixes instead of Void Rays.
I think he just assumed a Muta reaction, because Mutas, they do shut down War Prisms and Disruptor drops, right? So he just assumed, and now he's just dying to the counterattack. We do have a force field, but GG gets called. Dark takes the series.
3-1. GG. I guess that's that old saying that they have, isn't it? When you assume, you don't know.
Oh god, Dark was in complete control of this entire series. Like, even though he lost the game, like that was on Dark. Like, my god, that was insane, the way he was able to shut down that War Prism, the way that he was able to, I guess, kind of mind game, or maybe herO mind game himself a little bit. I think he did go for a hallucinated scout, and he saw the Spire, so he's like, oh, like,
yeah.
I know that you're gonna make Mutas, so I'll just go straight into Phoenixes. And then suddenly Roaches show up. It's like, oh god.
It's not ideal, to say the least. And with that, Dark is going to be our first player moving to the... No, actually not the first player moving to the Grand Finals, as DRG has just taken out Zest. Not sure what the score is, but yeah! For the first time in months, I want to say a year even, we're getting a ZVZ Finals in the ESL Open Cup Asia.
Oh my god. Crazy.
Wow.
So again, congratulations to Dark for moving on to the finals, and apparently congratulations to Dongwei-gu. He took game 1 versus Zest, and I was like, okay, that's cute, you know, that's a nice start, but yeah, he took down Zest.
Took it all the way.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't really been able to see what Dongwei-gu has been up to in his games, but for just looking at how quickly his series against Zest was, and the fact that earlier on we were informed that one of Dongwei-gu's games against Special lasted only 4 minutes long, I've been getting really hyped for Dark. He's been on an absolute tear, but it looks like DRG has been just as, if not more in form this week.
That is what it is looking like at the moment here, and you know what that means? That means it's time to set up predictions.
Yeah, boy.
Let's go.
Who is gonna take it? As we set up our predictions, of course, the players are gonna get their vetoes on the way. Do you hear the woo birds? Here.
We do not.
Picked up by the mic. Okay. They're getting a little bit uppity in the final months of the year.
God damn it, woo birds, mate. God damn it. Oh my god, but this is exciting. I would even ask you while I set up these predictions, Yaku, do you want to like look into the history of ESL Asia? Like, when?
I do.
When? Because I know we have had a ZVZ finals before, but when was that?
I want to say 2020, but again, I will check on that. Let's see, KR. We're specifically looking at ESL Open Cup Asia, as we have had ZVZs and some of the other weeklies. The last time we had a ZVZ finals was not in season 2, so not for most of, not even in the off season.
Yeah. You said it, 2020, right?
2020, November 16th. 2020.
Yeah.
When we had Rogue versus Dark.
Over a year ago.
Over a year ago. Wow. This is where we asked the chat to Funara every Circ player in Korea. But we're just never signing up. Or very sparsely signing up.
Yeah, I'm just letting them know. I like that it's been over a year. Wow, over a year since the ZVZ Grand Finals. And I remember that as well because that was the Rogue
I
versus
remember
Dark
that series.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Just wow.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like we talk about it all the time and we joke about it, but the joke lies in reality where here in ESL Asia it's dominated by Protosses and Terrans. That's typically the narrative that we have here. So it's so great to see finally at the end of the year we have some Zerg representation.